Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Well, I wasn't really sure that I wanted to film this video today, but I had made a decision that I was going to come back to regularly posting videos today. And so I will probably, throughout the week, take some breaks. One day I might not post on any channel. I might just post on one channel one day. But today I'm really trying to push through and film videos on most of my channels, except for my BookTube video channel today. But I really thought long and hard about what I want to do with this channel going forward. And, you know, I had really kind of fallen in love with just telling stories of my life over here, and it was kind of, you know, to me, a short version of my vlog channel. So my vlog is where I, you know, tell extensively long stories or talk for 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and I love that channel so much. But then I wanted to talk about, you know, specific things in my life over here, and I thought about several things that I want to talk about on this channel. You know, since I've been gone. And I also wanted to, and not just things that happened in my life, but like respond to like television shows I've been watching, or just all kinds of things. I will tell you that, and I'm trying to sit in a very specific way because, which is actually strangely kind of comfortable right now. Sitting in this chair downstairs and then going to the computer and whatever has really hurt my back today. But I wanted to make a video specifically talking about losing Tucker. If you've watched my videos for a long time, you know that when we lost Pee-Pee, it was just so shattering to us. And Tucker has been very much the same way. You know, as a couple that has decided to not have children, our dogs are our children, which is, I'm sure, so many of you out there relate to. And so I just kind of wanted to go more into depth. If you watched my life update video on my Peter Monn channel, you probably know some of the things that I'm going to talk about. But I wanted to talk more about what happened. There was definitely an absence in our home. Boo Radley is sleeping right over here. I don't want to turn the camera because I'll turn it at the end because I'm afraid that I will never get it back up situated, because it took me a while to get situated. But more really for Boo than for us. But we keep Tucker's lady out and his little lady, and then we keep his monkey. That was like one of his favorites, and his Grunch. I can still smell him on it. But many nights Boo Radley lays with them, which is strange because he never did before. Oh, he's coming over here. Are you going to come over and be with me while I'm making this video? So, Tucker got diagnosed. I don't even know when it was now, honestly. He got diagnosed with heart disease. The same thing that Pee-Pee had. And he was on the exact same medicines as Pee-Pee. And, you know, people in my videos were so encouraging because right from the beginning, they would say, you know, you have to have hope and all this kind of stuff. And that really, really helped me. And so I did. I started to have a lot of hope. And he didn't cough. Pee-Pee coughed a lot. He didn't cough like Pee-Pee, and he seemed to be doing well. He seemed to be doing okay, you know. And then I think it was like the second to the last week of March. Towards the end, we were watching a movie, and he started getting really, really lethargic. And like Alex and I both noticed, like when he would jump down off the couch, he would just kind of stand there. And it was bizarre for him. So we scheduled an appointment for the beginning of the week with the vet. We took him in. The vet said everything looked normal. Everything looked fine. But that maybe we should run some blood work. So we ran some blood work. And it came back that it looked like he was anemic. But they didn't know where he was losing blood. They couldn't figure it out. And they were asking us, is he like, is there blood in his urine? And we said no. And then they said, is there blood in his stool? And we said no. And so the vet was very confused and said the only thing we can do is to get some x-rays done and then send them in and talk to the radiologist and see what happens. So we did. And I think that was on a Thursday. And the vet called us. The radiologist was out of town. And so he called us Friday, Saturday. He was trying to get a hold of the radiologist the whole weekend and couldn't get a reading on him. And, sorry, Betty. And I got to put this leg down. And so that weekend, Tucker just did not do well. He didn't really eat a whole lot, and he was very lethargic. And we knew we thought kind of maybe it has something to do with the heart disease, except for the doctor had said that it looked like he was anemic, and and none of the symptoms were of what Pee-Pee had at the end with the heart disease. Although Pee-Pee also developed kidney disease as a result. So it was a completely different thing. So Monday, he was fine. Tuesday during the day, he was tired. He would sleep on the step, but he was fine most of the day. And that was my first meeting going back to my home group meeting in recovery. And so Alex came home. Tucker wouldn't eat. Again, he hadn't eaten for 2 days, I think, at that point. He would eat if we fed him a little bit off of our hand, but he wouldn't really eat a whole lot. And so I went to my meeting, and I can specifically remember that meeting because I shared about, everything that had happened, and I talked about fear, and I was talking about fear associated, specifically of all kinds of things, but not knowing about what was going to happen with Tucker too, And so I got out of the meeting, and I never, look at my phone during meetings, so I had my phone down. I got out of the meeting, and Alex had texted me several times and called several times. So I called him, and he was just panic stricken, And so my friend had driven me to the meeting. So she came so she took me home. And by the time I got home, Alex was like, I'm taking him to the emergency vet. He had called our vet. The vet had called us. And so they had scheduled an appointment for the next day. But the vet was like, if something happens, just, if he gets worse, take him to the emergency vet. And we'll send his records over there. Because something about they had an ultrasound at the emergency vet that they don't have at a regular vet. So we took him in. And they were very, very nice. They were extremely, extremely nice. And I had some situations in the past with the emergency vet and it was not the specific vet. It was years and years and years ago that I wasn't real impressed with. So, but everybody from the people that worked at the front desk to the vet herself, and she was unbelievable. So they took her back, and then they brought Alex and I back into a room, and she said, she came into the room with a syringe, and she said, I looked him over and he's really bloated, and she had this syringe filled with blood, and she said he's full of blood, he's internally bleeding. And she took an ultrasound and she showed it to us. And she said that it looked like something to do with the spleen. I really don't understand it to this day, you guys, but And our vet had told us this too, that maybe they would have to remove the spleen. And he had said, you know, like with an old dog, sometimes, because Tucker was 12 and a half, that maybe you don't want to do that because they might not live through the operation and whatever. So she was like, I mean, she was very nice, but she was very direct. And she was like, you know, you can take him home. She was like, but he's in a lot of pain, and I can tell. And she said, and he might not make it through the night. And she said, and so Alex asked about the surgery. And she said, well, if your vet recommends the surgery, because she was saying that it looked like there was maybe a tumor on the spleen, and this was like this aggressive thing that happened. She said, which was interesting because later, after the vet called us with the results from the radiologist, that's exactly what it was. And he said, Peter, he was like, you guys, you know, you made the right decision because there was no solution to this. But she said, best case scenario, if you had the operation, he could possibly live a few more weeks, even with the surgery, but he would be in a lot of pain. And without the surgery, he would probably be gone in several days. And I looked at her and I said, do you have dogs? And she said, I have 3. And I said, what would you do? And she said, I think there's a time and place when you have to stop and think about your dog first and what your needs are second. And so I went and I called Tanya and talked to her, and he was like, it was so, he just, like, he couldn't even hold his, we were holding him like a baby and he couldn't even hold his head up. And I just kept on thinking, like, he and Boo Radley were litter mates. They had never spent a day apart in their life. And, they had never slept apart in their entire life. And Tucker just kept on looking at me, and so Alex said, he asked the vet, he said, he said, do you think that we could go get his brother and bring him so he could just, and she said, I think that would be really good. So we did, and well, Alex did. I stayed there with Tucker. And it was very sweet. And Boo Radley, like, laid down next to Tucker and smelled him, and then that was it. It still seems so bizarre. And I know that there's going to be people that have their opinions and things to say, but when a vet is telling me that a dog is in pain, I'm not willing to allow an animal to suffer and be in pain, especially one that I love so much. And we came home that night, and it was so hard. And it still is so hard. And I think Boo Radley is very confused at times. The first couple nights it was so funny because he never plays with stuffed animals or anything. Well, not funny, but... And he literally slept with Tucker's toys the first couple nights. He, like, slept on them. And we have these comfort blankets are at the end of the bed. And we'll probably put that stuff away at some point, but I'm just not ready yet. Somebody sent me this picture, and I have it. Well, actually, I got sent two of the exact same pictures, one in a bigger frame, which is right outside our door. But this picture of me and Boo and Tucker, and it says, "Who's your doggy?" And I love that picture so much, and I have it right next to the bed. So, It's us, right, boo-boo? He seems to be doing okay. I don't know. You know, it's like when Pee Pee passed away, Boo and Tucker kind of seemed to move on rather quickly. Alex seems to think that he really understands. He's very, very, very attentive to us. He's very loving and attentive to us. And very close to us at all times. Like when I'm around the house, you want to come over here and say hi to everybody, honey? Come here, so everybody can see you. He said, I'm doing okay, Dad. You're doing okay, aren't you? There you go. When I'm like around the house, he's like, he gets to go outside a lot. He gets to have all the treats in the world that he wants to have. Yeah. But we miss Tucker a whole lot. We miss him like crazy. Are you smelling your brother's toys, honey? So, it's so hard, isn't it? It's so, so hard. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.